It began with a letter. In a dusty Midwestern town, a railroad agent opened an envelope from a watchmaker. Inside was a simple gold timepiece and a note that read, "Tell your colleagues I can sell these at half the price." The agent didn't know it yet, but that letter would set off a chain reaction that would reshape how the world shopped. Soon, orders started arriving by mail. First watches, then jewelry, then anything that could fit into a box. Within a few years, the man behind the letters had built a company so massive, it reached nearly every house in America. Its catalog wasn't just a book, it was a window into modern life. You could order a dress, a plow, or even an entire house, shipped in pieces by train and delivered right to your door. For rural families, it felt like magic. No city trips, no haggling, no middlemen, just choice, pages and pages of it. The company grew with America itself. When the nation moved from farms to cities, it followed. When electricity arrived, it sold light fixtures. When automobiles took off, it sold tires and tools. When television hit, it sold those too. At its height, it employed hundreds of thousands and operated more than 3,000 stores. It wasn't just a retailer, it was part of American identity. For generations, its catalog sat beside the Bible on the family table. Kids circled Christmas wishes in it. Adults dreamed of furniture or fashions they'd one day afford. But history has a way of repeating itself, especially for those who forget how they began. By the 1980s, the retail giant had a problem. Its mail-order roots, the very thing that made it legendary, were becoming obsolete. People now wanted instant gratification. Shoppers flocked to sleek suburban malls, then big-box discount stores. And soon after, something newer and faster was emerging. A digital catalog that needed no paper, no postage, and no store at all. Executives had a choice. They could lean into their legacy, redefine home delivery, digitize the catalog, and lead the next revolution in shopping. After all, they already had the warehouses, the brand trust, and the logistics network to do it. But they didn't. Instead, they doubled down on tradition, expanding brick-and-mortar stores while trimming their catalog business. They had once mastered reaching into every home, and now they struggled to bring anyone through their doors. Meanwhile, across the country, a young entrepreneur selling books online was quietly building the kind of mail-order empire they had invented a century earlier. Only his catalog fit on a computer screen. By the time the old retailer tried to catch up, it was too late. Their stores grew quiet. Escalators stood still. The lights dimmed in the aisles that once bustled with families. And then, one by one, the locations began to close. For millions, the loss felt personal, like watching a family heirloom fade away. After all, this was the company that had once promised, "We sell everything." It built modern consumer culture from the ground up. It taught America to dream in mail order, to imagine that anything could be theirs with just a few clicks, or back then, a few stamps. But here's the twist. It almost was Amazon. Long before Jeff Bezos typed his first line of code, the company's executives had discussed building a digital shopping platform. They had the infrastructure, the data, and the brand recognition to dominate e-commerce decades before the dot-com boom. All they lacked was belief that people would buy things they couldn't touch. If they had leaned into their mail-order DNA, they might have been the ones delivering packages to your doorstep today. Instead, the empire that once shipped dreams by train cars ended up crushed by a newer version of itself, an idea it had once perfected and then abandoned. The company's name? Of course, Sears. Founded in 1892 by Richard Sears and Alva Roebuck, it grew from a single mail-order watch business into the world's largest retailer before falling to the very innovation it helped create. And yet, in a way, Sears never truly vanished. Every time you track a package online, shop from your couch, or browse endless product pages, you're living in the world it imagined first. Because sometimes the biggest twist of fate isn't the fall of an empire. It's realizing the future was theirs to lose. This has been Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Until next time, remember, sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest consequences. Want to explore more stories like this? Visit twistoffateradio.com. There you can read more details about this story and others like it. Plus, you can submit your own Twist of Fate story to be considered for a future episode. You never know what twist of fate is coming next.